Welcome to the Spotlight Series. It's Tuesday night at the Cowesett Inn. We have another great guest tonight. If you'd like to be a guest on the Rhode Island Wave, if you have a business, charity, some special event, or just really cool thing you want to talk to people in Rhode Island about, this is the place to do it. Drop us a line. We'd love to have you on. With me tonight, L.A. Busteed, Mentor Rhode Island, Community Engagement Manager. That sounds like a lot of stuff to do.
It's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Tell us a little bit about yourself personally first.
Yeah, absolutely. So although my name is L.A., I was born and raised in Rhode Island.
Okay.
We'll put that out there to start with.
All right.
Went to school in New York for theater, actually, and started my sort of education and youth work through being a teaching artist and teaching kids theater and how to be in a play and that kind of thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Pandemic happened, less theater happening with the kids, moved into childcare. And actually, as I was doing that sort of after-school childcare moment, really saw the gap that kids had where they needed that one-to-one attention with an adult, especially post-pandemic. And that's actually how I found Mentor Rhode Island, as I was kind of looking for services that closed that gap that I was seeing as an educator, found them. Luckily enough, they had an opening at the time that I was looking at them, and now I'm here. Almost 2 years later now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Survived the pandemic, found a new role.
Yeah. Whew.
Giving back to the community, which is something we aspire to do here.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
So tell us what your actual role is at Mentor Rhode Island.
Oh my gosh. You covered it pretty well by saying a lot of things.
Yeah.
It is a lot of things altogether. So I actually just came earlier today from the State House with Cox Charities. They do a full day there at the State House to kind of display the nonprofit partners that they work with. So I do a lot of things like that, a lot of different events where we're going out, we're meeting people. We really want the communities that we work with to know that we're here and we're available as a resource. So I think that's a really exciting part of my job. And then I also get to do fun little interviews like this. I get to talk on the radio and do some shows and things like that. But really my job is exactly what the title says. It is engaging the community, making sure people know that we are here for the youth, we have your back, and just kind of getting the word out. Mentor Rhode Island's been around for about 30 years. We're been a really, really small team for a long time. We're now up to 15 people, which is quite a bit for a small nonprofit in Rhode Island. That's a good size.
Yeah.
So now we kind of have the manpower finally to be able to do things like this where we can go out and spread the word about what we do and have a position dedicated to it, which is exciting.
Well, as we were talking in the green room, I was a mentor at one point with my prior company, MetLife, and
cool.
Loved it. Took a young man from 5th grade into 6th, and it was really special. He didn't have a dad. He just needed someone to kind of talk to and look up to, and sometimes it was working on schoolwork. You know, I'd go to meet him at his school, so it was recess. You know, it's each child kind of finds what they need. There was a lot of us that did it, and it's rewarding.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about, you know, helping the community, you're talking from both sides. So talk to first about being the mentor and what that gives back.
Absolutely. So I think it's such an easy and great way to give back to the community with, I think a lot of people are nervous that they're going to lose a lot of personal time when they volunteer, things like that. Mentoring it's not the simplest thing to do, right? You've got a lot to do to support this child, but as far as what your time commitment is, it's an hour per week. Right, that's a really great way to commit and give back to people. And I think for the youth, like you said, you were with a youth who didn't have a parent, that kind of thing. These kids need support. And what a simple way, but just to show up 1 hour a week and play Uno with them. Go on the playground and just be an extra listening ear. Mm-hmm. That makes all the difference in the world. And we see statistically that kids are showing up to school more. They're turning in more work, which we love to see, right? We want to see those grades be successful so they can go on to lead a successful future. And they're just excited to be back at school. That's, again, something we're seeing post-pandemic. It's scary. You lose 2 years of being with your peers and being in a classroom, and that's a skill. People don't realize sitting in a classroom is a skill, and being around other people your age is definitely something that is a skill, and you learn over time. So having a mentor there to support you through that kind of scary transition after a pandemic and to help assist in learning those skills again is really important, and it's such an easy way to do things. And enjoyable, I think you would agree.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And talk about from the parent side, who should be thinking, boy, my child could really use a mentor? You know, what is the driving pieces that you hear from, I would say, your customers, I guess?
Right.
You probably have a fancier word for it in the office, but, you know.
I mean, that's a fantastic question. And I think it really runs the gamut, right? Like different kids need different things. And I would say most kids are candidates for being a mentor. So like me, I was a really shy kiddo. I grew up, I did not have a lot of confidence. I could have used a mentor to just be there to boost my confidence and kind of get me to open up and come out of my shell. So we really recommend kids that are maybe super on the shy side to come and get a mentor. But again, to use your mentee as an example, someone who comes from a single parent home, someone who's being raised by a grandparent and maybe wants, I hate to say, but a younger person, a younger adult in their life to connect with. As we really say, as long as your child doesn't have an extreme behavioral challenge, right? Mentors are people who come in from places like MetLife. They are trained to work with the kids, but they are not educators. So they may not be able to deal with a child who is having like extreme outbursts or things like that. But if your kid is someone who needs an extra ear, someone who's supportive, I think that they're a good candidate. And I think most kids in the community fall into that bracket of kids who could really use a mentor.
Okay. And how big is the mentor network statewide?
Oh my gosh, we're above 40 programs now. It's really, really exciting. So Mentor Rhode Island runs their own in-house programs in Warwick, the Aquidneck Islands, Woonsocket, and Providence. So that's something we do from our office. We run school-based programs that are an hour per week where you go to the school, hang out with a kiddo, have a good time. But we also help to provide technical assistance to other programs around the state where they might be doing things on the weekend. It might be an arts-focused program. It could be a sports-focused program. And if you are academically minded, there are, of course, tutoring programs that are mentoring, and we help to support all of them through technical assistance and getting people started and training them, all that fun stuff.
So I know it takes a lot of people and a fair bit of money to organize and train all of this. Tell us about some of the fundraising activities that you do.
I love this question. We have some really exciting fundraisers. We have two really big, exciting fundraisers that we do a year. The first one is January 1st. It is our frozen clam. It is a typical sort of jump in the freezing water, raise money for us. It's a lot of fun. What makes our version of that very unique is we do an obstacle plunge. So there is a full obstacle course that you do, and then you run into the water. And it is a great time. You can do it without the obstacle course, but I think the obstacle course is a lot more fun. It's a great family event. We have a lot of little kids who will come and do the obstacle course with their parents and, of course, raise money for us. So that one's really exciting. Our big spring fundraiser usually happens in mid to late spring is Dancing with the Stars. And that is kind of the one everyone knows us for, is Dancing with the Stars. We have 10 people from the community, we call them community celebrities, come in and they take ballroom dancing lessons for about 6 to 10 weeks. And then they perform a ballroom dance in front of 400 people. It's amazing. It is a blast. This year we raised $130,000 for mentoring, which is our biggest year yet. It's absolutely incredible. And it is just so much fun to see these people who have never danced a day in their lives. Most of them have no idea what they're doing, but they put in the time and effort to not only learn the dance, but also to raise all of that money for us. And then to watch them do it is obviously very entertaining, but it just is a blast to be in the room with that energy. We also do a silent auction at that event. So if you're not into watching people dance, that's okay. You can come put some money down on some awesome items. We have a lot of businesses in the community that contribute to that as well. So there's a lot of ways to sort of participate in that fundraiser, but that one's my favorite.
But that's in the spring.
That's in the spring.
So if you're a celebrity out there and you'd like to do, what's the name of the event?
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, and you're not Scott and Ernie, and you want to do this, get a hold of Mentor RI.
Yes, please.
You can get on the list. You can dance with the stars as yourself and raise a lot of great money.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because, 6 to 8 weeks and their schedules, they need to start thinking about that soon.
And we do have a list of potential dancers now. So if you want to be, on the big screen, we do a whole projection. We get little commercials done with NBC 10, so you will be on TV. If you want to do that, now is the time to start.
Should we name names or?
I can't.
All
Gotta
right.
keep it on the
All
DL.
right.
Gotta keep it on the DL
Fine.
for now. Until they officially sign the contract.
Who did it last year?
So we had oh my gosh, we had so many people. So we had Terry Brophy from Greenwood Credit Union came through and did that.
I love them.
We had Alicia Coppa come and do it. We had Kayla Gagnon, who is actually one of our current mentors. So a lot of the time, current mentors will help to fundraise with their companies. But altogether, we have 10 dancers every year. So we really try to split it between 5 men and 5 women. But 10 it can be a lot.
Yeah.
But with the success of last year, we're now finding that a lot more people want to do it. So it's very, very exciting to have so many potential dancers already. We're not even fully into the summer yet.
That's great. And a good way to get into shape to ballroom dance is to jump in the ice cold water after an obstacle course.
Exactly. I love the way you think.
Absolutely. We'll tie it all in, don't worry. So tell us, if someone's sitting on the fence thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to be a mentor, or, what could I give back to the community or child? Make your plea to that person to say, this is really something that could change someone else's life and theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something to keep in mind is that it is an hour per week to really change a child's life. We know statistically that kids who have a mentor are 130% more likely to be in a leadership position when they are adults. And numbers like that don't lie. The proof is in the pudding with that kind of thing. And what an easy and simple way to leave a legacy in your community. It's local. It's the community and youth that are around you every day that you are helping to lift up and support. And what a beautiful thing to do. And you get something from it too. I learned how to throw a football from my mentee. Would I have ever learned that in my day-to-day life? No, absolutely not. And if during the school day or during the work day isn't a fit for you, we work with over 40 programs. No matter how you choose to volunteer, I can help find the right fit program for you. But regardless, you're helping to change a child's life. You cannot go wrong with this as a volunteering opportunity. So I highly suggest, at the very least, sign up on our website so I can give you a call, walk you through it, and answer any questions that you have about the programs.
And at the same time, someone who's sitting on the fence, school year's ending, they have a child who may or may not have had a great year in school, coming back the first year. Talk to that parent or parents or guardians in some cases that think, well, maybe I could call, but I'm embarrassed to say I need help, or, will they really accept a mentor?
Yeah, absolutely. I think something to keep in mind is that we are here for you. Right? At the end of the day, we are all on the same team for the youth. We, as a community, want to support them. We want them to have a successful future, and it is never a judgment on you as a parent or as a guardian to say, I need help. I think that's a really beautiful thing. I think that's a really strong thing to do, and it shows how much you love the child that's in your care. If you don't want to talk to me on the phone, you don't even have to talk to me on the phone. You can send me an email, and if that's a little bit easier and makes you feel a little bit better, that's okay. We can do it that way. But again, if they aren't a fit for the mentor program, I will do my best to find some sort of support or resource for you, because that's what's important. It's just making sure that that child has the support that they need. Even if it's not with us, if it's somewhere, we'll do our best to make that happen.
And if you're interested in dancing, jumping in ice cold water after an obstacle course, they can reach out to your website as well?
Yes, you will see all that information on the website. You will see our fund development manager's information. If you are interested in being a dancer, you can definitely look at that. And for the frozen clam, that is just open enrollment. If you want to sign up and start to raise money for that, you can. But that's probably, I would start now. It's in January.
And it's a good time. I mean, we are advertising all over in LA. They got the giant stuffy quahog. We could tie that in. I love
that. We did get clam hats this year, so that's someone's thing.
Right. It's been fantastic. As someone who's been in the mentor program, it's definitely rewarding on both sides. I highly encourage people to reach out to you from whichever direction, be a mentor, or if they have a child that they would like some additional assistance with. It's definitely worth it. Thank you so much for being on the Wave.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. Appreciate it.